Hi everyone, Happy New Year. As the new year begins, I will be sharing practical tax tips designed to help everyone take a more proactive and informed approach to tax planning. Effective tax planning starts at the beginning of the year and not at the end. So acting early allows you to implement meaningful tax strategies, better manage cash flow, and avoid costly surprises down the road. One of the most critical first steps is reviewing and updating your W-4 annually. This essential step is often overlooked. We should not overlook because accurate withholding is the foundation of effective tax planning and long-term financial control. So today I'm going to share with y'all how to complete a W-4. So everyone who is on payroll need to be submitting a W-4 to their employer. So completing the W-4 is essential, and updating this annually is even more essential. So step 1, you have your first name, last name, address, city, state, zip, and then your social security number. Make sure you're completing all of these. Make sure you're choosing the right tax filing status: single, married filing jointly, head of household. Married people, most of the time, married filing jointly is the beneficial tax filing status. Sometimes, they choose to file separately for multiple reasons. So make sure you're choosing the right tax filing status right here. Now, step 2 is often overlooked by many of my clients, and they often end up either under withholding or over withholding taxes because they miss this step. When you are married and both of you are working, make sure you're completing this step 2. And also, if you have multiple jobs, you need to complete step 2. Now, if you have only 2 jobs, like husband and wife, each of you have one full-time job, then make sure to check this box 2C. If you have more than 2 jobs, multiple jobs, then use the multiple jobs worksheet on page 3 of this form. Enter all the information as requested on this page, and you will know how much additional withholding you need to withhold. So make sure you're completing this portion, and whatever number you get on this line 4, you need to enter that as extra withholding on line 4C. So make sure you complete this step and do not skip this step. Step 3 is for, child tax credit. Now, child tax credit is applicable only if your income threshold is below, if your income is below $200,000 if filing single, or $400,000 if you're filing jointly. So if you're making more than this, then do not complete this step. If your income is under this threshold, then maybe you can complete this step. So if your children are under 17 and they are either a US citizen or permanent resident with a social security number, then complete line 3A. If they are not a US citizen or permanent resident and do not have a social security number, but instead have an ITIN number, they will be considered as other dependents. And children over 17 who are still your dependents, you can consider them as other dependents as well. So you will consider them for line 3. So the child tax credit for 2026 for children under the age of 17 will be $2,200 per child. Other dependents, it remains at $500 per child. Step 4, you have other income information. If you want to provide this information, you can, but otherwise you can give an approximate extra withholding if you want to. Again, this extra withholding amount is per paycheck. So don't write a total amount you want to withhold. You need to break it down between the number of paychecks. So each pay period, how much you want to withhold. In addition, that amount will go on line 4C. Once you're completed, you can submit this to your employer, and you can be rest assured that your employer is going to withhold enough withholding, not too much or too less. Apart from this, other things that you can do in the beginning, that you need to do before in the beginning of the year, is updating your numbers towards your retirement contributions, like your 401k plan. So the maximum 401k contribution limit for 2026 will be $24,500. And if you're over 50, then you have a catch-up contribution amount of up to $8,000, so a total of $32,500. If you're under the age of 50, your maximum contribution is $24,500. And if you're over 50, you can contribute up to $32,500. And you can also push some amount into your HSA contribution. If you do have a high deductible health plan, then you might be eligible for a HSA contribution. The maximum contribution limits for 2026 is $8,750 for family coverage. Or if you're covering just yourself, self-coverage only, then you can contribute up to $4,400. Again, you have a catch-up contribution for those that are over the age of 55. You can do a maximum contribution, an additional contribution of about $1,000. So make sure you're updating all of these information beginning of the year to make sure you have enough taxes withheld, and also you're planning and contributing enough, reducing your total taxable income for 2026. Stay tuned. I will be sharing more tax tips with you all, which can help you plan for 2026. Looking forward to discuss more on taxes this year. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.